So how do you deal with that notion of being a teenager in this incredible world?
Hey, Peter, you coming tonight?
I can't tonight. I got the Stark internship.
What's up, guys?
Mr. Stark, here's my report for tonight. I stopped a Grand Theft bicycle.
Hey, could you do me a favor? Hold on to that. Is this anybody's bike?
Oh, I helped this old lady and she bought me a churro. So, that was nice.
So, the new Spider-Man
Yes.
is finally in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yes.
What's the plan? He has his own movie right now. What is going to happen next with him?
Well, the plan is in action. I mean, the real plan started with Amy and I talking about bringing him into the Marvel Universe and introducing him in Civil War, as we did last year.
Right.
With
Which
Civil
was
War.
awesome.
Oh,
Wasn't that awesome? It was the perfect introduction for him.
It was.
Underoos!
Hey, everyone.
because there were a lot of very serious things going on in Civil War, and Captain America believed one thing, and Iron Man believed another, and they were all fighting with each other. And suddenly, in the middle of it, there's this kid who's just excited to be there.
Yeah.
And we love that people came out of that movie going, we want to see more of him. We want to know what he's doing. To suggest that for the very first time, it's to say there's been a Spider-Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, you just haven't met him yet.
Right.
And obviously Tom Holland doing an amazing job playing him. So in Spider-Man Homecoming, we see what happens next. What happens when Tony dropped him off back at home in Queens after that amazing experience? How do you go back to school after that? How do you go do your homework and talk to your friends? Things have changed.
Listen, I know school sucks.
Peter, you still with us?
Yeah.
I know you want to save the world, but you're not ready yet. You're the Spider-Man.
No, I'm not. I'm not. This is just a costume. This is...
You're on the ceiling.
I've got one question, and I guess it's a huge deal in the whole movie. Gadgets.
Yes.
Like, there are a lot of them.
Well, you have to think if Tony Stark is a very bells and whistles kind of guy, and so if he built this suit, you know that there's going to be more than just the suit. So that was really fun to just sort of make a list of all the things that the suit might do. And I always go back to the original books to get my ideas. And in the very first issue, I think, of Amazing Spider-Man, there's a page of just things that the webs can do, like web shield, web skis, web raft, all these ridiculous, parachute, web wings, all those kinds of details. And it was never really overly explained how he would do it in the comics. It would just be a cool panel, right? But now that we have Tony Stark building the suit, we could actually explain how that stuff would work. So I wanted to fill the suit with more things than even Peter knew. And also, you get to draw from the whole Iron Spider concept of if Tony Stark were to build a suit, what could it do,
Finally, here we go.
Good evening, Peter.
Whoa!
You have 576 possible web shooter combinations.
That is awesome.
Let's talk also a little bit like female heroes.
Yeah.
Because we have a female side protagonist in this movie, and maybe some more female main characters will come. I'm not hinting at MJ or Gwen, but maybe is there a plan for that, or?
There is a plan.
Yes.
Yeah, I
And
mean, the plan mainly is to continue to explore new things for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That really is the plan. And a strong female protagonist is always a part of that plan, but doing it in new ways, in different ways.
Yeah, we've done MJ and Gwen, and those are great characters. But there was a lot of women in Peter's life, and who mean something to him. And it's also important to us that we have female characters that are protagonists, that aren't just the girlfriends, but that are part of the story.
I just feel like I could be doing more. Wait a minute. You guys aren't the real Avengers. Hulk gives it away. New move I'm working on? Not bad. Oh, God, this feels so strange.
There's already announced something like a Spider-Verse, because everything has now his own cinematic universe after Marvel.
The Spider-Verse movies are animated movies
All of them?
that
Oh, okay.
that I'm doing with Avi Arad, but that are being done with Chris Miller and Phil Lord.
Okay.
And that is a whole animated universe. I mean, we have all sorts of ideas.
Yeah.
The animated world exists here, and the live action world exists too.
So they're now building the whole Spider-Verse at Sony.
Yeah.
Like with an upcoming Venom, Tom Hardy
Yeah.
is actually
Yeah.
Eddie Brock and everything, so that's exciting. But I feel like Venom is like a really, really dark character, and they're
Yeah.
like shooting for an R rating and everything. And Tom Holland Spider-Man and the whole Homecoming thing, it's pretty lighthearted.
Yeah.
Could you imagine that he becomes darker? Maybe fight a Tom Hardy Venom?
I don't know. I mean, the Venom movie isn't in the MCU.
Yeah,
So I'm
so-
not exactly sure how that stuff is gonna, or if it's going to cross over. But I like my fun Spider-Man for now, until we'll see where he goes. I mean, part of growing up is definitely learning about the world. But yeah, I don't know if we're gonna go dark and R-rated anytime soon.
But you never know when Spider-Man is going to end up interacting with Venom, because that's inevitable.
Yeah, it has to be like
Yeah, it
he's
does.
the main antagonist
Yeah.
besides like the Green Goblin or
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah.
So there has to be some way where we can introduce him
Yes, there does.
in some way.
Yes.
So is it going to be Tom Holland again? Or maybe
Tom Holland will always be, as far as we're concerned, Tom Holland will always be our Spider-Man.
So there is a possibility Tom Hardy fighting Tom Holland. Tom versus Tom.
Maybe someday.
Which would be cool.
It would be cool.
Did you say Tom versus Tom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Toms.
The Toms.
Yes. Someday, yes.
It has to mean something.
Yes, it does.
The rich and the powerful, they don't care about us. We have to pick up after them. We have to eat their table scraps.
These alien bastards are tough. You gotta use the stuff they use.
The world's changing. It's time we change too.
One thing for me as a comic fan in this movie, because it's so out of the left field, damage control.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, it's the craziest idea to have like people to pick up stuff after the Avengers and
Yes.
everything. Is there going to be more of damage control? Like
Well,
little cameos or...
Maybe. I mean, we liked
We
liked
liked-
introducing this organization from the comics, Damage Control, because there is a lot of collateral damage that happens during these battles, going back to all the other films.
Yeah.
And so much of this movie is about what would it be like to live in this world where these things actually happen. How would it change your everyday life? And it changes not only Peter Parker's life in ways that we saw in Civil War and continue to see in this film, but also our villain, the Vulture, Michael Keaton's character, who is just a hardworking guy who is trying to provide for his family, and all these unbelievable things start happening in the world, and how does he deal with it? And he doesn't want to be left behind, and he starts to help find these things, and he doesn't turn them over to Damage Control.
And I really like that because it's like a real motivation this time
Yes.
for the villain. Not like he has a personal grudge against Spider-Man. No, someone took his job.
Yeah, someone took his job. And the interesting thing is that both the Michael Keaton character, Adrian Toomes, and Peter Parker have a little bit of an obsession with Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Right? He's kind of the root of everybody's problem in this movie, which was a wonderful way to bring a sort of triangle of relationships together.
Listen, Peter, forget the flying monster guy. There are people who handle this sort of thing.
I'm sick of him treating me like a kid.
But you are a kid.
This is my chance to prove myself.
This time we've got a great villain already.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have to be Venom.
Yeah, no, Vulture's awesome.
He's great, and there's a little age gap.
Yeah.
Was it intentional? Like, have it so far apart actually this time?
I don't think like the age part was necessarily intentional. I just wanted Michael Keaton, you know? He's just so great and so good at being a bad guy that I couldn't really imagine it being anyone else.
So just because he's a good bad guy, or was there some other movie where you said like, yeah, because of that I wanted him as?
You mean Beetlejuice? Yes, of course.
It's showtime.
The intention was to get Michael Keaton, who's an amazing actor, who's been in an iconic role after role after role. Yes, we thought there was an entertaining a continuity between Batman and Birdman and now the Vulture.
Yeah.
But really, he's playing this character, Adrian Toomes, who is a very down-to-earth, realistic guy, as you say, this villain who has motivations and who's trying to do what he believes is the right thing. And we wanted an actor who could do that in a way that you'd really, really believe it.
Yeah.
And who also would look cool flying around in a big metal wingsuit.
I screwed up.
You need to stop carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders.
I want you to understand. I'll do anything to protect my family. I know you know what I'm talking about. So don't mess with me. Because I will kill you and everybody you love.
Right when the Avengers movie ends, the next Spider-Man movie will pick up.
Okay.
And we're doing that together as well.
Okay, that sounds
And
awesome.
that's great. I mean, it couldn't, Kevin and I planned this out a long time ago. It was a dream of ours from forever, and we're finally getting to realize it.
Well, we've got Spidey's journey mapped out over 5 films. Civil War, Spider-Man Homecoming. Tom Holland has already filmed a number of scenes and has a lot more to go in the next Avengers films. And then we're committed to doing together the next Spider-Man film after that. So all of that will tell an overarching story of Peter Parker's journey as Spider-Man and journey within this world, encountering the Avengers, now encountering the Guardians of the Galaxy in the Infinity War films, and then how does he deal with all of those amazing things he encounters in that movie as he then goes back to life with his aunt in New York.
Yeah.
Which is actually a boring life when you consider the possibilities.
That's what he thinks too, but he'll find that that isn't true.
You're not gonna stop me.
Do you know him too?
Yeah, stole his shield.